Hello, my name is Robin Workman. I work for TRL. Welcome to this video for the MCC El Salvador Connectivity Project. Today I'm going to show you how to set up survey equipment in a vehicle to measure roughness, that's International Roughness Index, IRI, and to take video and still images for road condition. I'm demonstrating this in a right-hand drive vehicle. We're in UK, but in El Salvador you'll have a left-hand drive vehicle. The surveyor will be in the passenger seat and they'll be looking after and controlling all the equipment, so the driver doesn't need to worry about any of that, and the driver can just concentrate on driving. The first thing I like to stress is that it's important that the driver has a clear view ahead, and that's not impacted by the equipment at all. So you'll need full visibility, and that's important obviously from a safety perspective. So we want to set up the equipment as centrally as possible. In the vehicle there's four pieces of equipment I'm going to show you today. The first one is a TRL prototype. Now I don't have one of those with me at the moment, but this is where the TRL prototype would be set up. There's a separate video showing you how to set that piece of equipment up. There's also going to be two smartphones for measuring IRI and a dash cam. So if we start with the smartphones, the first one will be a Roadroid smartphone. So this, both the smartphones are measuring IRI, so they need to be set up centrally in the vehicle so that they take an average of both the wheel paths, so where the roughness is going to be measured from. So again, we need to set it up as centrally as possible, and I'm going to put it just here right next to the TRL prototype with this sucker. Stick it on the windscreen like that, so it's nice and firm. And that's going to measure Roadroid, so it's a horizontal smartphone, and that will need to be adjusted to set up. If you can look at the Roadroid video, it needs to be set up sort of vertically and horizontally so that it measures with the accelerometers accurately. The next one I'm going to set up is for RoadLab Pro, and this one is actually set up vertically, and again I'm going to set it up as centrally as I can, just here. You can use these screws for adjusting and tightening up the measurement. Then I'll put the phone in just like that, and so that it clicks in nice and firmly. Now with these, they tend to bounce a little bit, so what I do is take some blue tack or some other sort of sticky substance and put these underneath the bottom here between the dashboard and the phone. Just squeeze that down there, so that's really nice and firm now. It's not going to move, there'll be no bounce, and the same for this one here. Let's get that down, then tighten up the screws, and then both those phones are really nice and firm, they're not going to move, and they'll measure the IRI nice and accurately. So the next piece of equipment is a dash cam. So we've got this dash cam here, which you will have received as well. Now this has a long cable, so we want to make sure this is well away from the driver, so it doesn't distract from him or her. So we're going to put this as centrally as possible. We don't really want it high up because the cable will interfere. So we should be able to get a good view of the road from around about that sort of position there. I'll just stick that onto the windscreen, and when it starts up, you'll be able to see the visibility of the equipment and see and adjust it through this knob here to show, so that it points centrally towards the road. And this plugs into a socket here, and I've got an adjuster which is slightly different to the one that you've got, so this just goes into the cigarette lighter sockets. Has also got USB connectors around the outside in case you need to plug in the phones, but hopefully if the phones have got full charge they'll be okay for a while. And then that just goes into the car socket, just like that. And then finally there can be, so you can see that started up now, there can be some reflection off the windscreen. You can actually see here from the Roadroid there, so from the prototype there. So what we can use, I provided some of this material, so this black material will just go on the dashboard like this, and that should prevent any serious reflections. Now the dash cam already has a polarizing filter which should reduce that, but it helps if you have that non-reflective material on the dashboard. So that concludes the setup of the equipment we're going to use, and good luck with the surveys, and we'll look forward to seeing the results.